Okay, so it's a good thing we're not in the same room because I'm pretty smelly right now. It's about 2:45 in the afternoon, and I've been sitting in front of my computer for the last almost 9 hours doing online work, editing photographs, posting things on Instagram, Facebook, communicating with people, tweeting out stuff, even though I'm not really big on Twitter and other than insulting the president every moment I can. But very, very, very few people follow me on Twitter anyway. But it's another way. Why can't I see? It's just another way I can find new eyes, like YouTube and Pinterest and all of them. I go on Twitter periodically and I'll just do a dump of posts and keep my fingers crossed that somebody sees them, and a couple people did and they retweeted them, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I have been rephotographing work. Oh good, I haven't showered yet, hair, lucky you. I've been rephotographing work, and I submitted to a publication that I've been looking at for a few years called New American Paintings. And I found this when I was walking down the halls of RISD one day, and I grabbed a stack of them. Somebody had them outside their studio and they left them there. And I remember to submit once in a while, and then most of the time I forget. And it's usually, this is run by region and certain categories. Like there's a master's degree publication that comes out, and one of my friends, Mike Caputo, is going to be submitting to it. But there's Northeast, Southeast, somewhere in the middle America, I don't know, West, up, something. Anyway, right now they're taking submissions for the Southeast. Yeah, this one never gets me, but that particular cover. But they come out, I don't know how many times a year, normally 6 to 8, 9, 10, I can't remember how many times a year. And I always just seem to just miss the deadline that would have been appropriate for me. But this time I made it. The submissions close tomorrow, and then we'll see what happens. I think I put together a pretty good package. I put in, I submitted my big portrait of Yayoi Kusama, Mehitable the Tattooed Lady, which I now have posted again on Twitter, but Facebook as well. Good photos this time. Mehitable the Tattooed Lady, Harlem 1945, the little girl in the soapbox eating an ice cream cone in Harlem in 1945. I love the soapbox though. That doing the license plate on that was fun. The license plate in her face really made it for me. But yeah, Harlem 1945, and a painting I just call The Rider. It's this little boy in a sailor suit with this angry face, and he's sitting on one of my hobby horses. It's one of the most recent. So the paintings range from 2013, I think it's 2013, 2017. Mehitable was 2017. Then blah, blah, blah. The next one was Harlem 1945 was actually finished in 2019. It was done in 2019, just before I moved. I finished it, or 6 months before I moved here. And then the last one, The Rider, was done in 2020. So I wanted to show the consistency of quality, of focus, that I have a diverse portfolio in the different figures that I try and represent and express, all that stuff. Anyway, that's what I did. So fingers crossed on that one. We didn't make it in the art list, as you know. We won viewer's choice. I got more votes than anybody else at 377, but the editors apparently didn't agree, so we didn't win. But we did end up, several of us pooled our money, and we bought a gift certificate for one of the fellows that was going to win the gift certificate. Because with first place, if I haven't explained it enough, with first place you get featured in the art list on their Facebook page and all their social media, and they give you an interview form to fill out, so they kind of do an interview. but all of that is featured and in their newsletter. But you also, in first place, you get a $75 gift certificate. Second place is a $50 gift certificate. Third place, I think, is $25. And then viewers' choice is, okay, we talk about you in our newsletter. So I had two fellows I was going to take the $75 gift certificate and split with, but one of them said, no, I don't need it. I got supplies for Christmas, so it was all going to this one fellow, Josh Miller. He's really fantastic. He's really working on his art. He's like I said before, he's highly prolific, very, very focused. So what we did, there were a lot of circumstances that led me to choose Josh. He's a new painter. He has a lot going on, and I just went, this is the guy. Because right now he's painting in acrylics, and I know he should be painting in oils. But he has a YouTube channel called One-Legged Beast. One-legged, as is he missing one, One-Legged Beast. And he's got a couple videos out right now. I'm like, just keep going. Please keep doing this, Josh, because the videos that he posted is from work. His work has progressed quite a bit, but once he gets the oils that we ordered, the oils, the mediums, and all the different products, I think he's going to really excel. He's going to find his niche. So behind me is a painting we talked about a long time ago. Ages. I just want to grab something. We talked about this one ages and ages and ages ago. And I put it to the side so that I could do a couple of other things, because I didn't want to misstep and put too much paint down and not be able to walk it back. But last night I pulled it out again. What the intention at first, my first idea was, I'm going to do it in pencil with some some paint in the background, but keep it really sparse. But it wasn't working. It really wasn't working. So yesterday I went down to Michael's and I picked up a pencil. I ditched my ebony pencil because it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. Okay, now I'm obsessing. Watch. Excuse me. Yeah, the ebony pencil wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. So I went down and I got I'll put this down, I promise. I went down and got a 7B pencil, which is a softer, what did I get? It doesn't really matter what kind of pencil, but I got a regular pencil, drawing pencil, 7B. That means that the graphite, is really, really soft, so it's going to draw a little bit easier. And I came home and I started working with it, but I still didn't like the effects that I was getting. It wasn't quite as dramatic and compelling or interesting as I thought it would be. So I started going in and very carefully choosing colors and lines that I was going to draw with, essentially in paint. So we've got the outlines in a couple of different blues. I love illustrating socks, so we've got the socks going. I think what I'm going to do is add more and more color to Little Pony, to the little pony that he's seated on, but I don't want to get this all convoluted with paint. I don't want to do just another painting of a figure. I want to do something else, and then we'll have the real color framing him on the outside. And when you're seeing it in person, the funny thing is, your eye goes, holy crap, to the sides, to where all that color is. Your eye kind of goes, here? Is this where I'm supposed to be? Here? Is that it? But this is so calming. It's such a dead wake in the middle that you get drawn in. And it's natural for the eye to go, that's the figure, that's where I'm supposed to look. But one of my things is drawing your eye to an unnatural place, to the background, where normally that's not our focus. But this is where I place a lot of movement and a lot of energy. So I'm working on that, and then I've also found the eye kind of goes whoop right down here. So it's flowing with all this movement. It's also got this triangular where it's bringing you up to the child's head. But then when I'm stepping away and seeing it in person, it also feels like the pony is bending, the rocking horse is bending. So I'm having a lot of fun with this now that I've figured out, I've given up the idea of just pencil and playing with light in that way. I'm going to play with a lot of other elements. Light is very big to me. It's my neighbor's nephew. He's putting stuff in my fire pit. Excuse me. How light plays with the oil, how light plays with the aerosol layers underneath, how light plays with the flat black gesso, how sunlight will play with the graphite, how flat light will play with the graphite as well on the flat white gesso surface. Oh, I love being complicated. Oh, so many layers. I'm a genius. It's fun for me. Now that I've figured out how to paint all these different things, how to use different materials, now I can go in through different layers and make it more and more and more and more and more interesting, at least for me. So I'm going to be working on this little doodad. I've always got 100 other projects going, but that's what's up today. I'm going to go take a shower first, though, because I don't want little Drew to be smelling me while he's walking through my backyard to throw wood in the fire pit with his uncle. That would be really just so gross. All right, yep, shower time. Okay, thanks. And there we are. Was there something else? Oh yeah, subscribe to the channel. All the links are down below. If you'd like to help support Studio 120, there are links to PayPal, Cash App, and Patreon. Patreon, where you can provide monthly support for Studio 120 and help us keep improving. Let's do the jingle. Oh, and there's like 50 or 60 rewards or items available through Patreon as well, based on my paintings, different things that you can get. Okay, ready? Time for the jingle, time for soap. Patreon, hashtag cats, meow, meow, meow. Ciao, ciao, ciao. And boing.